Hey all, Essie Stuart here. Long time no see. Yes, in my last video I explained that I needed some time. Um, and yeah, it's just one of those things that I felt like I needed to do, just kind of disconnect a little bit from, the internet and whatnot. I didn't plan to be away quite so long. I only maybe wanted a couple of weeks, just to kind of get away from it for a little while. But and I won't be quite coming back yet, but I just wanted to. I mean, I am back on Facebook. I have a new Facebook page because my other one is just too full of rubbish. It's just full of crap that I don't want anymore. And I just thought it'd be a lot easier to start a fresh Facebook page than it would be to go and try and delete everything I don't want on my old one. So a fresh Facebook page for a fresh chapter in my life. And by that I mean the fact that I got married 2 weeks ago today. If you do go on my Facebook page, you'll see a few of the wedding photos. And none of those are the official ones, like the ones that our photographer took. We still haven't got them back yet. Those are just on my Facebook page. Those are just a few that friends and family took. But it was a lovely day. Well, it was very, very windy, and we had a few drama moments. Like, we just sat down at the reception when the fire alarm went off, so we all had to evacuate, but it was just a false alarm. Somebody, lit a candle or something in the hotel, one of the hotel rooms. So that was all fine, and then, like I said, it was really windy, so, my mother-in-law is very small in height and weight. She's very, very petite, and when I say it was windy, I mean it was really crazy windy, and it knocked her off her feet, and she smashed her head against the road. So we were all in a panic because our head was bleeding, but everything was fine. She just had a bit of a headache and stuff, but it was still very, a very panicked moment, thinking that something was seriously wrong with her, but she was fine. But yeah, so it was a bit drama filled. But other than that, it was really lovely. We did get it recorded, so at some point I'm hoping to get the disc. Our cousin, well, it's my husband's cousin. My husband's second cousin's husband. Very confusing. Anyway, he filmed it for us, and he's going to be putting onto disc for us. So hopefully at some point I'll be able to upload the actual wedding for anyone who is interested. I'd never been so nervous in my life. It was kind of weird though. The whole morning I sat there fine. I was kind of bored actually, because I had to wait for my cousin slash bridesmaid to come through from another town to do my hair and stuff, because she's a hairdresser. And she didn't come until 9 in the morning. I'd been up. Well, I had only really slept 2 hours that night. Not because I was nervous, but just because I couldn't sleep, I can't really sleep when I'm not with my other half. When we're separated, I don't really sleep without him next to me. So it was difficult for me to sleep. But anyway, I was really bored just waiting for her to come, and I thought, right, I'll get excited when she gets here, with preparation starts underway. But I got my hair done, I got my makeup, my nails done, got dressed. It was fine. I put my dress on. I was a little bit nervous because everyone's going to be seeing me in my dress for the first time and stuff like that, but it was fine. And we got up to the registry office, and well, in the car on the way I started to feel a little bit nervous, excited nervous. And then when we got to the registry office and I saw everyone in the room, I started to get majorly nervous, and then the music started and I had to go in, and I was just terrified. Not because I was getting married, that I was so happy about that, just my anxiety issues, being the centre of attention was like the last place I ever wanted to be. And just for everyone to watch me walk in, and it was just the most nerve-wracking thing I have ever done, and I will never ever be doing it again. I will never even like renew our vows, unless it's like a private thing, just us, because it was terrifying. But I got through it, and we both screwed up our vows a little bit out of nerves, but we got there in the end. And signing the certificate thing, I burst out crying because I was just so happy and so nervous, and just all the emotions. I just burst out crying, which was everyone laughed at, which is typically me, something I would do totally, you know. But yeah, it was a lovely day, and nice and simple and small, just like I wanted. It was perfect, you know. The kids, my little flower girl looked amazing. She was so cute. And my cousin's kids, they all had purple dresses and they all looked beautiful. And then at the reception area, you know, they were dancing, and it was perfect. I even got to meet my brother, well, my half brother. I think I mentioned in a few videos that I have two half brothers, but one of them I'd never really had anything to do with. Well, we've kind of slightly reconnected on Facebook, so I invited him to the wedding because he only lives like a couple of times over, and he came, which was nice to speak to him. I mean, it was really awkward and strange, and you know, because we haven't, even though we're brother and sister, we never grew up together, we never had any form of connection, so it was really awkward, but it was really nice at the same time, you know. And I didn't get a chance to talk to him too much because obviously I had to talk to everyone, and my feet were killing me even though I was wearing flat shoes. It was just crazy insane. And then when we're done cutting the cake, we totally failed at that. I think there's like probably a part video and photos and stuff. We totally failed at it. We couldn't do it. It was funny. And then we spent the night in the hotel. And the staff were all so lovely, really lovely staff, and it was a really nice stay. We got some wonderful, amazing cards and gifts and stuff. Actually, I will pan around because I have my wedding shelf I've made. I'm not sure if you can see much. That book's the one at the back is the photo album for when we get our photos. The one at the front is our guest book that a few people signed. It's our wedding ring box at the back. I'm not even sure if I'm in focus of anything here, sorry. It's our ring box. And everything here, apart from the bouquet and the buttonhole and the cake topper, were presents. Oh, and the Mr. and Mrs. thing. The tiara as well. But like that snow globe thing, the glasses, both the Batman. There's Mr. Batman, and then the glasses next to it are also Mr. and Mrs. The pen that people use to sign the guest book. I can't see my screen, so I apologise if you can't see anything right now. We need to get one of our nice photos when we get them. We're going to pick out one we both like and put it in that frame. I have no idea what I'm focusing on here. Don't know if you can see that Jack and Sally salt and pepper shakers. I will use them one day, but for now, they're too lovely to use. Cake topper, Mr. and Mrs. Teddy, my tiara, Mr. and Mrs. ornament things that I had on the cake table, my bouquet, which I'm going to put in my granddad's grave when I can get through, Alan's buttonhole, yeah, so there's a few things up there. Anyway, I've got a few other things as well, but those are the things that I can fit on the shelf. But anyway, yeah, it was a really lovely day, and okay, cat snorted. I just can't believe it's already been 2 weeks, like literally 2 weeks today. It's crazy. It doesn't feel like that long ago already, but I am confused how people say like, marriage changes everything and stuff like that, because maybe it's because we were together for so long before we got married, I don't know, but absolutely nothing has changed. The only thing that's changed is I now have a different ring on my ring finger, We're still exactly the same. Like I said, maybe it's because we're together for so long before we got married. I don't know, but I don't understand why people say marriage changes you, because it's not changed us one bit, and I'm glad of that. It just, we're legally in love instead of just whatever. But yeah, I absolutely am happy. But anyway, moving on. I will explain to you why I'm not quite ready to come back yet. And that's because I just have far too much on my mind right now, far too much to do right now, because about 2 weeks before the wedding, I got a phone call from my fiance's work, well, someone from my fiance's work, telling me, my husband, sorry, I'm still not used to saying it, my husband, well, he was my fiance at the time, but anyway, I got a phone call from his work saying that he had fallen, so I hurried over and he looked awful. He just looked like a flimsy rag doll. He was white as a ghost. And the paramedics were at him by the time I got there, and they were saying his heart rate was really slow, so they were taking him to hospital. So we went in the ambulance to A&E a few times over, and they wanted to do some tests because like by the time they got him to the hospital and he started to feel better, but they were still concerned, why this happened in the first place. So they wanted to keep him overnight to do tests, and I wasn't able to stay. And it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, so I don't drive. There's no buses at that time. There's no trains at that time. So I had to get a cab home from the hospital, which cost me 70 quid, which is £70 of our wedding money, just to get home. And then the next day, my husband, still not used to saying this, anyway, because he had his mobile with him, so he was calling me and stuff, and texting me, keeping me informed of and everything, and he told me that you'd have to stay in for another 2 to 3 days because they wanted to monitor his heart. So I got my uncle to take me through during the day, during visiting hours to visit him. I took him a few things, but then while we were there, he got really agitated because he just hates hospitals, and it was stressing him out, like majorly stressing him out, and so he signed himself out against the doctor's wishes, but his heart was obviously had something to do with his heart, and it was stressing him out to be there, so they weren't even getting accurate readings for him because he was under that much stress of being there that it was affecting his heart. So they allowed him to come home, and he just had to rest up and stuff because he was fine as long as he wasn't doing anything. It's only when he does stuff that he gets dizzy and stuff. So I pretty much put him on bed rest. And then he got an appointment through to get the scan, which is one of the other reasons they wanted him to stay in hospitals, because they wanted to book him in for an echocardiogram scan. It's basically like an ultrasound on your heart. But like a couple of weeks after signing himself at the hospital, he got that scan through. So we went back to the hospital. He got it done, and we had to wait like another week and a bit for results. And it turns out his left ventricle is weak. It's not working properly. which is why his heart rate is really slow. And chances are he's going to need then a pacemaker, if not medicine or even both. I'm not sure yet. What day is this? On Tuesday Tuesday past, as in like this is Saturday. On Tuesday past, he had to go and speak to the consultant. Well, like the cardiology specialist consultant person thing. Because he signed himself at the hospital. He didn't get a chance to talk to him in the hospital. And he was just basically explaining the results of the scan a bit further. And they need his heart monitored, but since he gets so stressed out in hospital, they're giving him one of those ones that you get to take home. So we've got to go through next Friday, and then for him to get it put on, and then we've got to go back the following Friday to get it taken off. So they're monitoring his heart for a week, and then they're also going to book him in for an MRI scan, and just to really get a deeper, closer look at what's going on in there. And then we'll have to go back to get the results and, to talk through a course of action, whether it's going to be a pacemaker and or medicine for the rest of his life, because they're not wanting to give him a pacemaker, because that is once you've got a pacemaker, that's it. So they really don't want to, unless it's going to be for the best, but they really want to hopefully find another option, which is why they want to do the MRI scan and not just assume a pacemaker is going to help. They want to try and see what the problem is and hope that it can be fixed another way, like with just medicine and lifestyle changes and stuff like that, But the doctor did say it is a high possibility that a pacemaker will be the answer. So, so he's on sick right now, which is really difficult to get back and forward. It costs us about £30 to get to the hospital and back, and we're going to have to go next Friday, the Friday after that, and whenever his MRI scan is. It's going to cost us, and then we've got to get taxis because he literally can't walk anywhere. Well, he can walk, like he walks to the little corner shop and back and stuff. He does go for little walks, like he's out right now for a little wander to the shop, but he can't walk far, so we're having to get taxis everywhere, which is costly. So yeah, it's going to cost us like over £100 by the time he gets all this scans and monitors and all that done. And then obviously if he gets a pacemaker, that means he's going to have to go in for the day to get it fitted, and then I think it's like 4 to 6 weeks healing time or something like that. And he's already been off work for just over a month now. So yeah, he's on like sick pay now, which means we can't afford a rent. Well, we can this month. We managed to make it this month. He explained this to our landlord, and our landlord said, like, it's happened at a bad time because he just got made redundant, and he said if we can't afford to pay rent, he's got no choice but to give us our 2 weeks notice, and we have to move. And where are we going to find money for a house when we can't even afford the house we've got? So we are potentially facing homelessness on top of my husband having heart failure, which is what it's classed as. So yeah, I have far too much on my mind right now, but I am back on Facebook. I will be keeping in touch more. I will try and make videos if or when I can, and for anyone who's interested, I will maybe, update you guys once in a while on my husband's situation and stuff for anyone who may wish to know. And it's nice for me to be able to, talk about it and get it out, because obviously I don't want to say to him that I'm worried about this, that, and next thing, because it's the last thing he needs. He doesn't need my worries on top of everything else, you know, he's got enough to deal with. So it's nice for me to be able to talk about my worries about it too, without burdening him with them, you know. So yeah, there might be a few updates and ramblings about this, that, and the next thing here and there, you know, when I get a chance. But I mean, like I said, he's off sick, so I don't have any free time. I don't have any me time. And obviously, like I said, between his health and potential homelessness, we've got a lot on our plate right now. So it's fun stuff. And he feels so guilty, you know, because he's not able to work, and he feels like he's letting me down as my provider, you know, as a husband, because he can't get to work, and he feels guilty about letting his work down because he is their best worker, and you know, and I'm trying my best to let him know that it's not his fault, you know, it's not like he asked for this, it's not like he's like just skiving off of work. He generally has health issues, so yeah, it's tough, but we'll get there. Like I said to him, none of the rest of it matters. I mean, worst case scenario, I might not even be able to make videos because we're going to have to give up our phones and net and stuff like that, you know, because those are luxuries. And we might have to do that and just keep what money we have for our rent and food, you know. So we might not even have net much longer. I'm not sure how it's going to work out. I mean, I've applied for housing benefits. Well, he has applied for housing benefits because he's on the sick. But they, even if they accept our application, they only pay a percentage of our rent. So we'll still have some of it to find. And sick pay really isn't much at all. Like, sick pay doesn't even cover the rent. Or maybe it'll barely cover the rent, but then we won't have money for food, so who knows. It's just crazy right now. A lot to deal with, but we're making the most of our situation, you know. And he feels fine as long as he doesn't do much. And so I'm just making sure he doesn't do much, but he can't sit and be idle either, so he goes on his little walks, or we go on little walks together. As long as he doesn't stand too long, and if he gets dizzy, as long as he's able to sit down straight away, he's not too bad. But it was like the Wednesday before the wedding, because he was signed off for a while, and then the doctor said if you feel fine you can go back, and because he was resting he felt fine, so he thought he was fine. So the Wednesday before the wedding, so that would have been the 2nd or 3rd of June, he went back to work, and I was in an absolute panic because I just didn't think he was ready, you know. I think he was pushing himself because he was bored, he felt guilty, like I said. He just wanted to get back to work. He's not the type of person to sit around. He's a worker. He's always been a worker. He's been working since he was 14, you know. It's just who he is. And he just absolutely hated sitting around, so he tried to go back to work, and he was fine up until night time. Then it got busy, and the sous chef at his work, who's also a good friend of his, found him hanging on to the sink for dear life because he was about to pass out. So they sent him home, and he came home in a right state because he felt like he let me down, he let his work down again, you know. And it put him backwards a little bit because from that point on he really couldn't stand her. That even for the wedding, we actually sat for the wedding. I only stood to do the vows and to exchange rings, you know, but other than that we sat down because he can't stand that long. But now that he's like, it's been a couple of weeks and he's done little to nothing apart from his little walks, you know, he's doing a little bit better. He still can't stand for more than 5 minutes without getting dizzy. But he's fine as long as he takes a little rest, and then he'll go on, he'll take a little rest, you know. So yeah, it's really difficult for him. He's just not an idle person, you know. I feel really bad for him. He's really restless and he just hates it. And I mean, I try my best to keep him, you know, cheery, but what can you do? It's really difficult. But anyway, that's almost 25 minutes and I've rambled on. So I just quickly, before I end this update, I just quickly want to thank Adam Waters because I received a package yesterday out of nowhere. I did not expect it, but I got a package from Adam Waters, and I just wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you for my lovely gifts, and I want to show them off. So first, I got this postcard because she recently went to Disneyland or Disney World, not sure the difference, but anyway. It's got writing on the back, but my little note. So that is going to be going up on my bookshelf where all my other stuff is. And I got this really cute little tattoo choker necklace thing. It's really, really lovely. I love it. And this I'm just completely in love with. It's a Jack Skellington scarf. It's awesome. It's so soft. I absolutely love it. And I just want to say thank you so much. I think I've thanked you on Instagram and Facebook already, but I just wanted to say kind of in person, as close as in person as I can get. So thank you so much. They are really, really beautiful. I love them. Thank you so much. I was not expecting anything, and it was a lovely surprise. So thank you. But yeah, I'm gonna go for now because he probably won't be much longer. So I will say that I will probably do little updates here and there, but like I said, I don't really have the time or the mental focus to really do much right now. But I will do little updates here and there when I can, and you know, once we get his treatment on